little not quite prepared, so I'm going to plug in the microphone here really quick.
We always seem to forget our mics.
We do forget our mics every time. And did you grab me? There it is.
Fortunately,
Thank
that's
you.
an easy fix.
How's everybody doing today? It is
Nice day out here.
a beautiful day here in Minnesota. How about where you're at? All right, I think we are mic'd up. People, if you can't hear us in the live stream,
Yeah, always definitely say
let us know.
something.
Let us know. But I think everything should be good now. Look at that. We pulled it together. We actually scheduled the live stream and had it start the way that it's supposed to. It's even horizontal. Everything is good. We're getting better at this, I think.
Although we forgot to check on the mirroring, which is going to come up here.
Still haven't. Yeah, I didn't learn about that yet.
So if you live in backwards land and would like a excursion or cruise planner in forward world, we have a really awesome cruise planner here. Yeah, this is one that I designed that goes through everything you need to know. Hey, Beverly.
Hey, Beverly.
And it starts off with nice little maps so that, you know, when you're cruising along and you're like, oh, wait, what island exactly are we on in the Caribbean Sea? You can check it out and see, because, you know, that's the one thing that I always get confused at. It's like, okay, I know where we are. I know what port we're at, but where are we going next? Which direction are we heading? It's kind of fun to be able to see that.
Yeah.
And then we walk through, we've got a packing list so you don't forget anything. Pages to keep track of what shore excursion you're going on. Of course, they're all backwards for you, but if you order this, then you will get it the right side around. So that's even better.
The ultimate cruise planner. We also just want to mention how awesome our other merch is, like our hats. Our Embrace Today hats. Once again, you have to read this backwards and upside down, something like that. But yeah, it's a good hat. You know, I don't want to ruin my great hairdo, but check that out. Everybody needs a hat on the cruise ship for when you don't want to do your hair before you run up to the buffet. There you go. All right, we're going to get into the content now. We're talking about cruise ship complainers. I forgot to put a title in the see, we're not.
Okay,
we don't have it
we weren't
together.
prepared.
I did the thumbnail, but I didn't have the title. We're going to talk about cruise ship complainers. You saw on the from Trinidad. Hey,
Trinidad,
David.
awesome.
Wow, that's awesome. Anyway, you saw on the thumbnail that we are going to talk.
Yes, grade 8. The cruise planner comes right-handed and left-handed. If you mean forward and backwards, actually, it only comes forward. Amazon doesn't print backwards. So
you saw on the thumbnail that too crowded was the words up there, and that is one of the common complaints on that people have about cruises in general. We're going to talk about things that people gripe about, things that people complain about on cruises, and yeah, so here we go. All right, not prepared.
now, why would anyone complain on a cruise? Beverly's kicking us off with that. No cooking, no cleaning, just plain old relaxing and doing whatever. That's a great point. And
I agree with that. I mean, it's funny though, because people really do come up with an amazing amount of things to complain about, and I bet I've complained before. It's like we all complain sometimes, and you got, but you do, what you just said is exactly right, Beverly, right?
Beverly, yeah,
Beverly, because. Cruises are definitely a privilege. Not everybody gets to go on cruises. It's something that you got to really appreciate when you're there. And so the first thing we're going to talk about is overcrowding. It is what the thumbnail image was about. And the little blurb I have here is many cruises complain about the ships feeling packed, especially during peak times. Common areas like pools, dining halls, and entertainment venues can be congested, making it hard to relax. For example, reviews mention long waits for elevators or difficulty finding deck chairs. Now that, I can relate with the elevators thing. I hate the elevators. I've complained about the elevators a lot. You've complained about the elevators?
yeah, the elevators I think, is a fair complaint. And just to recap for the Curtis family, who said he wants to know the topic since he got here late, and we missed
cruise
the title.
Complainers.
Cruise complainers.
Yeah, things we complain about on cruise ships. But Beverly reminded us right off the bat that why are we complaining? We're on a cruise.
Yeah.
But we still do it. We're just talking like elevators. Emily and I get frustrated with the elevators. Yeah. We've had to wait, 15, 20 minutes for an elevator, and it's like you just start griping about it. People around us start griping about it. There was that one guy who was awesome. Dropping F-bombs. He was not happy with the elevators.
Not the person that you thought was going to drop an F-bomb either.
Yeah. So
But you know what I think it is with the elevator is like you sit there and you expect to wait, and so you wait 5 minutes, and then you're like, okay, well surely it's going to come soon, and then you wait 5 more minutes, and then it's like, well, if I had known 10 minutes ago that I was going to have to wait this long, I would have just started climbing the stairs. But at this point, like, well, surely it's going to come in 5 more minutes, but then it's still not there.
Yeah.
So I think it's that type of waiting that I'm complaining about.
Well, and so overcrowding in general, though, on a cruise ship, it's like, there are times on cruises where it feels crowded. There, on the mega ships, and I think of the Mardi Gras and the Celebration, these Carnival ships we've been on. Not so much the mid-sized ships, but those mega ships, like the Central Corridors on Deck 8, I think, where by the pizza place and by Guy's Pig and Anchor. Both great places to get some food, and everybody agrees on that. So you walk through those and you're literally elbow to elbow with people. You're having to like stop and let people move to the side, and then you move to the side, and you have to like a squirrel in traffic. Is that what?
That's right. The decision-making skills of a squirrel in traffic.
Yeah. So I get it. I mean, I can understand complaining about being overcrowded. We've talked about it a million times on the lives. The buffet on embarkation day. Embarkation day in general is like insane.
Yeah. Everybody is a squirrel.
I gotta say, like, there's been a few cruises we've been on where embarkation is nuts, and like getting on the ship takes forever, but then there's been a few, or a bunch, probably more, that have been pretty smooth.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I absolutely agree, and I was about to say that it depends on the port, but I don't know if it does actually, because I feel like we've been in Miami several times, and sometimes it went really smooth and sometimes it didn't.
Yeah.
So, I mean, there's a lot of factors involved on embarkation day. What time you get there, what port it is, of course.
How well it's run.
Yeah, who's working that particular day, because like we went to Baltimore, right? And there was just one ship leaving, and it was like, everybody there that was working there just seemed so frazzled, like, oh my gosh, what do we do? A cruise ship is leaving our dock.
Yeah.
Like, this has never happened before.
But where there's 8 ships leaving,
everybody's just like, oh, this is clockwork. Yeah. So
it is crazy. We just said the same thing at the same time.
We did, didn't we?
So overcrowding definitely is something that I've complained about on a cruise ship, and I wish I didn't. I wish I didn't complain about anything, because it's really nice to just be on a cruise. But I mean, it is a thing. What do you think?
Overcrowding? It's definitely a thing. Somebody just commented on, I can't remember which video it was, but mentioning that the overcrowdedness is also based on perception and the layout of the cruise ship. So there are some ships that, if you look at it just purely by numbers of as far as how many passengers there are, some ships just feel more crowded than others because of their layout.
We always say it, but MSC, we've been on MSC ships, and like that was the feel we had, and I think that it's a fact that there are more passengers per square foot on the ship. Yeah. And that's a thing. And actually, I'm gonna skip down in the list a little bit, because that actually makes me think of another. I think this is an interesting one right here. This complaint is class systems on ships. So like on MSC, they have what's it called?
The yacht club.
The yacht club. The yacht club. And if you're in the yacht club, you're just above. You're up here, and everybody else is down here. Yeah. You're above everybody else.
You don't even have to leave your little exclusive sanctuary in order to go get something to eat. And that's the case.
You don't have to be with the peasants in the in the buffets. So I mean, do you guys feel that, or are you guys all in the yacht club?
Maybe.
Because if you're in the yacht club, you're like,
that's great.
It's awesome to be in the yacht club. But if you're not in the yacht club like us, I don't know. I didn't really feel any resentment towards the yacht clubbers. I guess I was maybe a little jealous. Yeah. Because they have less crowded. Accommodations.
I do feel like when you go like snooping around the doorway to their exclusive area, then you get a little bit like,
which we do. Probably other people don't do that, because we do ship tours.
Yeah,
and so we're always like have the camera in like just through the door of the yacht club, seeing what we can see.
Yeah,
they probably don't like that.
I don't think so.
It's fine.
Grade 8 says if I could afford it, I would do it, and I think that's what a lot of people probably feel like. Yeah, if you could afford that, but when you look at the price difference, everybody has a budget, and unfortunately, that's not in ours at this point. So
you get what you pay for. Yeah.
Beverly says yes, we were peasants on MSC, and we never went back. You get what you pay for on MSC. That's true, and also on MSC, you have to pay for a lot of things.
You do.
So every single thing, it's like they wouldn't even give you water
Was
if they
there a
didn't have
lobster
to.
night on MSC? Did they end
They
up
did.
having?
I'm pretty sure that
They did have, because
They did
I
have
had
lobster
read
night.
previously that MSC you only got lobster if you're in the yacht club, but I don't think that's true. I think we had
No, because I remember you were really surprised
That we had
did
lobster.
get
That's right,
lobster
yeah.
night because you had just been researching it, and then they pull up lobster night, and you're like, wait, what?
Yeah.
So yeah.
Do you guys love lobster night on cruise ships? Yeah, we do.
Yeah. So on the overcrowding, I just want to go back one comment. Beverly said, a few years ago we were on the Mardi Gras. My complaint was the overpopulation of scooter drivers, mostly intoxicated, driving zigzag down the hallway. It was not safe for anyone.
That's funny. So were they not handicapped? Were they just like driving around on scooters because they'd rather not walk?
No, I think that they probably did need the scooters.
They needed the scooters.
Yeah,
Okay,
it's not like
if you weren't like mobility issued and you were driving around on a scooter drunk, that would be disrespectful.
That would be really, yeah.
I guess if you legitimately have mobility issues, I'm gonna cut those people some slack.
Yeah,
Yeah.
But it is kind of funny. She said intoxicated, and I don't know if I've seen that before, but it's a great visual image, and it makes you wonder if they're going to have to start instituting
and
like a
speed limits.
DUI,
Yeah.
driving while intoxicated on a scooter, DUI-OS.
Exactly. So let's think about some other cruise lines. So on Carnival, I guess that's one of the things on Carnival that I like is that I don't feel any class. There's no class difference.
No.
It's like everybody's the same. I mean, and I guess there's suites on Carnival.
They do
ships.
have suite perks on Carnival, but they don't have. The most exclusive area they have is that Loft 19, right? Is what it's called.
Oh yeah,
And
I think that's more built for like groups of people that want to go in on having like a cabana on a cruise ship.
It
right?
is, but if you have a suite, you automatically get entrance to it.
I see.
So
Okay.
like that's the one little thing that they give you, but they don't have,
And they have the Havana rooms, which we've been jealous of.
Yeah, okay, that's true. They do have that. Yeah.
So I get, and we were jealous of the Havana
We
rooms.
were,
So
yeah.
I guess we got outclassed on that. I mean,
That's true.
You do get what you pay for, but it's like when you don't have enough money to pay for that kind of stuff, you're like, man,
Yeah.
I wish I could pay for that. So I don't resent the people. I'm happy for them.
Yeah.
I just wish I could also enjoy it.
Yeah. But if
so-
everybody could enjoy it, then it wouldn't be exclusive. And so
Yeah.
there we go. Grade 8 said, so like the Lime scooters downtown, and no, I think mobility scooters is what Beverly was talking about.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Man, thank goodness there's not those Lime scooters on cruise ships.
Oh my
That would
gosh.
be
That's
crazy.
actually,
That's probably next.
that's banned. No, you're not allowed,
You're not
like
allowed to
literally
bring-
banned.
Because somebody's tried it already, probably.
Probably. Also, I don't know how many people know this, but those wheelie shoes, the ones that kids have where you like pop the heel and then a little wheel comes down, those are actually banned on cruise ships as well.
That's crazy.
On most lines anyways. So, yeah.
All right, so any more comments?
Well, we have 3 that I think I missed. So, Gun Enjoyer says, I do grumble about getting to a show and it's standing room only. And it sounds like he uses the stairs, especially on a cruise. Yeah, use the stairs when you can, when it's reasonable. I mean,
to avoid the elevators.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
But yeah, standing room only shows, and I think you have that on the list maybe.
I just wanted to tell I know I've probably told the story before on a live, but I just love the story of the lady. We were standing waiting for an elevator. We were just overheard her talking to her friend. They were just going up like one deck to the buffet as we were, and so we hit the elevator button and we just thought, hey, if it doesn't come right away, we'll just walk up the stairs. And we sat there for a while waiting for the elevator, and we decided to head up the stairs. And as we're heading up the stairs, we hear the conversation between the two people waiting for the elevator, and the lady said to her friend, her friend said, let's just go up the stairs, and the lady said, no, I paid for these elevators. And I just had the thought, you also paid for the stairs, lady, so use the stairs. Anyway.
I couldn't remember which story you were talking about, but yeah, that was kind of funny.
I didn't tell it as good that time, but it was funny.
To go back a little bit, David Wares says, heading on Icon next month with my family. This will be my 5th cruise, first for my wife and daughter. A wife is refusing to pay gratuities, so my daughter is following her. What's your take on it? And actually, I think that was kind of in response to a comment just before that. Barbara says her complaint is the gratuities, which I saw you have hidden charges or extra charges was kind of next on your list.
Yeah.
We actually, David, if you haven't seen it, we have 2 videos all about the automatic gratuities. And we also remove our gratuities, but we do it so that we can pay cash because we feel that it's a lot better to tip in person the person that's actually helping you rather than have it put in this, nebulous tipping pool that you don't know what's going on with it. I mean, it says in the cruise contract that when you tip that way, it's up to the cruise line to decide what to do with it. And everybody's talking about how they don't trust the cruise lines, but then they think that you should give automatic gratuities. I mean, it just doesn't add up to me. So
the comment I want to make on that is a little bit, it's not exactly on topic, but with the gratuities, I do just want to mention that we do not advocate not tipping.
Yeah, that's not what we're talking about.
We do remove our automatic gratuities, but we do not advocate not tipping. I think tipping's good. And I know that a lot of people gripe, and I actually agree with the sentiment, is that like the cruise line should pay their employees better so that they're not relying on the tips of the passengers as much. That being said, I still think it's good to tip.
Yeah,
in
showing
cash.
your appreciation is important.
If you pay the automatic gratuities, then you put all the control into the cruise line and put trust into the cruise line not to take a little cut for themselves. And they're going to distribute it the way that they think it should be distributed. But I like to distribute it to the people that actually made my cruise special.
Yeah.
And so that's why we do cash tipping, and that is my 2 cents.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. Okay. So we tip. We just tip personally.
Yes.
Yeah.
Should we move on to another one, or should we do one more?
Oh, great. He just said, I'm waiting for someone to mention about when the chicken fingers run out. Yeah, I mean, that's a huge complaint. If there's not chicken fingers, I mean, somebody's going to pay.
Some bad things happen when you run out of chicken fingers. That's a fact. So let's see here. I can't wait for it. We're going to be on a cruise in 6 days? 5 days?
Thursday. We'll be on the cruise
Next
ship
Thursday. We're going to finally be back on a cruise again.
Yeah.
It's been a couple of months, and it's going to be a 3-week-long cruise, and we're going to be live streaming to you guys from the ship, which I know you don't care because you're not on the ship, but we care. We think that's kind of cool that you can do that. And we'll be talking everything about our cruise. We're going to be on the Carnival Luminosa, a ship we've never been on. And it doesn't have Guy's Burgers.
Yeah.
It doesn't have the Blue Iguana like all the other ships.
It's kind of an anomaly in the Carnival cruise fleet.
Yeah.
It was originally built for Costa cruises, and I can't remember if it even got to be a Costa cruise ship, if it was like immediately requisitioned back into the Carnival fleet. I don't remember on that, but it doesn't have a lot of the Carnival standards, so it'll be different, which is kind of fun.
Curtis Family says, what time are you picking me up? 5 o'clock, man, don't be late.
Yeah.
So yeah, we are excited about that and excited to be getting back on a cruise ship, of course. It's going to be great.
Which is why we were a little flustered today, because we have...
Holy crap, we've had a lot going on. We need to get back to this, but man, I've been helping my mom move. That has been crazy, and we've been planning this trip. It's going to be a 2-month-long trip for us, so it's going to be... going to be wild. We're going to be live streaming to you guys from not only that cruise ship, but some undisclosed other locations that probably will take you by surprise. We're going to be in some cool places.
Yep. And we are leaving from Seattle.
Yes, we are.
Seattle. Yep.
Yes, we are. Let's see here. All right. So, hidden costs. Do we want to go back to that? So we can touch on hidden costs. So hidden costs definitely include automatic gratuities, but also hidden costs like if you want. I get distracted by the comments. We can come back. We can come back to the.
Okay.
So on a cruise ship, if you want a not average cup of coffee, but you want the good cup of coffee, then you have to pay for it, right? If you want a donut at least on a Carnival cruise ship, you have to pay for it.
Almost every cruise line, except for MSC, charges extra for donuts. So there you go.
If you want to go to the movie on the movie theater that's on the cruise ship, you have to pay for it. It's not all inclusive. It's not all included. So there are many hidden costs on a cruise. Although there are things you don't have to do. If you just want to sit there and look at the ocean, you can do that for free all day long. But if you want to get in on a lot of the activities, cornhole, beanbag toss, that's usually free.
That's free. I haven't ever seen that charge.
No, I don't think they charge
but
for
on
that
MSC, you could play cornhole toss for free, but then they had like pool that they charged you for and the foosball that they charged you for. You had to go pay to get the equipment to play those games. Every other cruise line I've actually seen pool on Carnival, some Carnival ships. And they usually have foosball, at least in the kids' lounges.
I don't
but
understand how people can play pool on a
I think
cruise
it's
ship.
funny. And I saw that there's one on the Luminosa, and I feel like in 3 weeks we should probably get a chance.
Like the balls are going to
Yeah,
be
it's
rolling
gonna be
all
awesome.
over the place. It's a totally
I think it's
going to
be an aid to my game.
Yeah, probably make me better too. So anyway,
So the Royal Caribbean Movie Theater costs money. So actually, I was just going to say that's sometimes true. And there's the outdoor movie theaters, which every cruise line calls something different.
Dine-in movies, movies
dive-in
under
movies,
the stars.
movies under the stars. Yeah, those are free because I mean, how can you charge for that? Like, it's visible from the entire cruise ship. It's visible from like a mile out at sea.
But the shows.
But the indoor
auditorium.
theaters. Well,
Yeah.
some of them, some cruise ships have like an IMAX or something like that on certain ships.
Yeah.
And those are costing extra, and so it depends. I think that was Barbara. It depends on the ship and which movie you're talking about. Yeah.
Here's another thing that I complain about on cruise ships, and I like to think of myself as not much of a complainer, but as I go through this, I'm like, man, I complain a lot actually.
He does.
At like the dive-in movies or the movie Under the Stars, and on Disney Cruise, which we've been on once, we went to movies. On Disney, it was an inside theater, but.
Yeah.
They don't provide popcorn. You have to pay an exorbitant amount of money for Princess does provide popcorn. That's right. So, kudos to Princess because come on, popcorn. It's not that expensive, guys.
Yeah.
And they're nickel and diming you by like $4.50 for a little box of popcorn.
Yeah.
So, and you gotta have popcorn, right? So popcorn and something to drink.
Yeah.
I don't know. Yeah.
I'm with you on that. I mean, like a giant bag of popcorn costs $1, and then you pop it. That's enough for. Yeah, the charge $4.50 for popcorn is just ridiculous.
Yeah, for a little box. Anyway, so there's another that wasn't on my list, but popcorn. So that's a hidden cost, though, right?
It is.
And Wi-Fi, specialty dining, definitely hidden costs. Things you don't need to have, but man, I like having Wi-Fi. And you walk past those restaurants, and you're like, man, I'm on this cruise. I really want to experience this Rudy's Sea Grill, which we never have yet.
No.
But yeah,
I'm kind of sad about that. But
well, we'll do it.
We'll do it
sometime. Yeah. So anyway, yeah, there's a lot of hidden costs on ships. I'm willing to pay it sometimes, within reason. But when you go on a cruise, you know what? It's not just free. It can be if you really want to limit your experience. But
yeah. Okay. So let me get back to some of these comments.
Okay.
So, Gun Enjoyer just is saying True Carnival is classless, which. It has no class. It's not really classless. That's a funny word, isn't it? It's not really classless, but it doesn't have no class.
That was a clever pun there. I don't think Carnival is classless in the sense of no class, but they are classless in the sense of not judging one another.
Yeah.
And I love that about Carnival. I don't love the brawls. I've never seen a brawl though. I see it on the cruise news. I talk about it on the cruise news, and thankfully we've never experienced a brawl. It is what it is. But I love Carnival Cruise Line.
Me too.
I have things that I complain about because I do complain a lot, and their loyalty program is one of them. But anyway.
Beverly says if you go on Virgin, there are no extra fees once you are on the ship except for alcoholic drinks. They even have free candy if you wanted it. I didn't know that. But there's that's one of the things about Virgin, right? Is that if you none of the restaurants actually have an upcharge to go to the restaurant. There's 3 or 4 specialty items that they have in the restaurant that is extra. And then they also do, I can't remember what they call it. It's like dinner and a show, and kind of an immersive experience that they have on some of the ships, like one night during the cruise. That's an extra cost. But otherwise, the dining is anything you want is free, which is really nice that's included. I'm sure they find plenty of other places to, premium Wi-Fi is extra. You get basic Wi-Fi.
Yeah, and their core charges
and
is
their
more
core
expensive.
charge is more. Yeah, and
you can't get that $200 cruise or whatever from
Yeah.
Virgin. We're gonna try Virgin someday. Probably.
Maybe.
I don't know.
We'll see.
There's just something about it.
Oh, Sweet Life showed up. Hey, nice to see you, Steve. And he's saying the breakdown for popcorn is 8 cents per kernel. So I'm gonna keep them to that one.
That's actually really funny. They should put that on the ship. It's 8 cents per kernel.
The Curtis family says soon they will charge for toilet paper. I hope not, because Yeah, that seems like it's asking for trouble, since I'm guessing some people wouldn't pay, and let's not even think about that.
Yeah, that conversation could go in
It's
bad
gonna
directions.
backfire.
Yeah.
But Gun Enjoyer said, booked Regal Princess in January and plan to pull auto gratuities. We'll give money to individuals just like in the old days. Yeah,
man.
Absolutely.
That's what we're saying. Nice. Cool. So next subject here is cabin size and comfort. Interior cabins in particular are often criticized for being cramped, with some as small as 150 square feet. Noise from adjacent cabins or public areas also disrupts sleep, as noted in reviews on sites like Cruise Critic. Do you guys go on Cruise Critic? I go on Cruise Critic sometimes.
I don't think anybody that's cruised could not have.
Yeah,
I feel like
everybody
you almost have
encounters
to
Cruise
if you've
Critic.
typed cruise into Google. That's directed you to Cruise Critic.
So yeah, have we complained about our cabins? I think the cabin on Grandeur of the Seas, which we've talked about on here a lot,
That was
is
small.
super small and
I'm worried about the
stuffy
Luminosa
and-
because for some reason it seems smaller than the cabin.
Yeah,
seem
do
like
you
they're
guys go
smaller.
on YouTube? We always make room tours when we're on our cruises.
Yeah.
And
And they're the best room tours out there, by the way.
We do awesome
a really
room
good
tours.
job.
But we also watch room tours
Yeah.
before we go on the cruises. And so we've been watching
Yeah.
room tours of the room or rooms like the room we're
Yeah.
going to be on the Luminosa. And they look extremely small, like really, really small.
Seems
So
just
smaller
than
than normal even.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I feel cramped in those rooms sometimes. I mean, I guess the whole thing is you have to just get into the mindset of, I'm going to hang out outside my room as much as possible, because the ship has, they have couches and TVs and bars and restaurants.
Yeah.
They've got places, you can find places where it's not crowded. You can find places to party if you want. So it's just sometimes you got to be in, you just need some alone time, though. At least
Yeah.
I do. So you got to be in your room. And I have probably complained about room size, especially on, we've been on several long cruises, weeks-long cruises, and it can get stuffy. It can get stuffy in those rooms, especially interior rooms.
But we haven't been on on a long cruise more than 7 days. Well, I guess the interior one was 14 days.
Yeah, it was.
Okay. Well, yeah. But I was just thinking that the last long cruises that we've done have all had a balcony, which really helps with the stuffiness.
Grade 8 says, isn't Grandeur approaching 30 years? And I think you're right about that, Grade 8. That is, I believe, the oldest ship in the Royal Caribbean fleet, and it is my least favorite cruise ship I've ever been on. I'll just put it out there. Yeah, it was
really
a great.
didn't have good memories. From
I
that
don't.
cruise.
It was a great. I hated the room. I really did. It was the worst room we've ever been in, and I hate to be negative. I try to be positive in our content.
He's
but
just complaining.
I'm complaining, but it's true. And the cruise itself was great. We stopped at not a million. We stopped at 6
I think it was 6.
great ports.
6 or 7.
And that was really fun. But every time I had to go back to that room, I dreaded it. So have you ever had bad neighbors on a cruise ship, on either side of your room or above or below your room? That can really affect. The Grandeur of the Seas had all the bad things. We had bad neighbors. We had really
interior,
small. It was interior, no window. Bottom of the ship, you could hear and feel every movement of the ship.
That was the worst for me, is that because we had a lot of port calls, and you always get there early in the morning, and every morning that we had a port call, I was woken up by the anchor getting thrown overboard and then being
It's such a noise.
ratcheted into place. It's the worst noise.
It sounds like World War III.
So
It
loud.
does,
Yeah.
So anyway,
But
should we move on to a new subject?
sure.
All right.
Well, let's see. Did we get some? Steve from Sweet Life said, heard someone say to think of an inside cabin as a bedroom, not a cabin. Yeah.
It's a good idea.
Really, just sleep there. That's all you can do.
I'm going to steal that. Thank you. I like that.
And then Jimmy Williams says, have they fixed the slot machine problem on Carnival? Do you know
You mean
about
how
that?
they always lose? No, they have not. They still always lose, at least most of the time. You know what? No, I've had some wins on Carnival. I've had more losses than wins on Carnival. So, it's a gamble, and that's just what it is. Yep.
Yeah. Beverly said, when we started cruising, we could only afford interior rooms, but one time we upgraded to a balcony room for no additional cost and never went back. And then we were upgraded once to a junior suite. Yeah, see, that's why they upgrade you, is because they're like, okay, we're gonna give these guys a balcony for free this time because they're definitely they like cruising. They're gonna be doing more cruises, and then it's like just deploy because we have also had that experience. We've been upgraded to balcony, and now we haven't cruised in Ocean View or Interior since we started getting the balcony upgrade.
Exactly. So, and so you can get those casino offers that'll get you into the balcony rooms sometimes, or you can get free upgrades sometimes.
Yeah.
Take them when you can get them because it is a beautiful thing, and yeah, it really makes a difference to have a balcony. Although even like the MSC, one of the MSC rooms that I remember on the Seascape was a balcony room, and it was a very it was that ship is pretty new, and it was just, I don't know, last year before we were on that ship, and I was expecting like a more modern, bigger cruise ship room, but it was like smaller than the Carnival rooms. It was smaller than the Royal rooms too. I think it was tight.
Okay, so yes, but one of the big things on that was the bathroom on MSC was really, really small.
Oh, that was the worst bathroom.
Well, no, but then we went on. Remember the Mardi Gras, the Carnival Mardi Gras, and it's like, oh well, they just copied from MSC. It was like the same exact bathroom, and they're horrible. I mean, there's like you hardly ever turn around.
That's a great question, actually. Would you rather have a little bit more space in your bathroom to move around, a little bit bigger shower maybe, a little bit more room by the toilet, or would you rather and have that take up some of your cabin space, or do you like having that extra few square feet of cabin space and having that really tight bathroom?
I would vote for a slightly bigger bathroom. I mean, it doesn't need to be like gigantic, but you know, especially people that are cruising, you know, and they're not a couple, they might want to be able to change in the bathroom comfortably. It's just that MSC bathroom was just horrible.
It was insane. It was insane.
Yeah.
It was horrible. Yeah.
And I mean, even getting to be able to open the shower door, I was pretty amazed by the mechanism that opened the shower door. I thought, like, looked at it, I was like, there's no way you can even make this work. And then it had like some weird hinge thing I would never have thought of. So
Barbara says bigger bathroom.
Yes,
exactly, Barbara.
Bigger bathroom. Yeah.
That is one of the things that I love about the old Carnival ships is and I've heard other people complain about the
shower curtain.
The shower curtain, just the regular shower curtain. But like on the old Carnival ships, or at least the classic Carnival ships, not necessarily all old, but they have bathrooms that are the angle that they have the toilet sitting, I think, is perfect. You have room there. You have room at the vanity, and the shower is kind of like a triangle with a pie shape on the shower curtain, and they're pretty somewhat roomy, man. But those ones with the hard doors that you open, you're like really tight in there. I mean, unless you're a small person, but so I like that old Carnival design. I don't know why they went away from that.
No, and honestly, from a room attendant's viewpoint, I'm curious what they think, because I feel like those bathrooms would be harder to clean because, you know, you could just take the shower curtain down and wash it, and then you have like all the space to get around and clean the actual part, you know, the tub part of the shower. Whereas on the other one, that door is locked in place. You can't remove it, and so they have to, you know, completely get inside there, and then they're cleaning it out. I mean, I just don't think that that's as efficient or as easy to clean. So I think it's a bad design. But we have 2 votes. Barbara and Beverly. Beverly said a larger bathroom and a shower door. Oh, but would prefer a shower door, but no curtain. Okay. And I think that's doable.
I think it could be done. In fact, on like the Mardi Gras, the way the shower door worked was clever. It was still tight, and I understand people not liking the shower curtain because it can feel gross. I think is probably what people don't like about it.
Doesn't stay in place, and it doesn't let as much light in because it's opaque.
I still like it better. I get why people don't, but anyway, what was the other vote?
Oh, it was just both for bigger bathrooms.
Bigger bathrooms.
Yeah. So cruise lines, bigger bathrooms.
We need bigger bathrooms. Exactly. All right, so next subject here is going to be port time and excursion costs. So have you guys ever had a port where you're there from 8 in the morning till 2 in the afternoon, and you feel like you don't have any time at the port? Yeah. Because who actually stays out till 2? You know, you want to get back like at least an hour, at least a half hour, if not an hour before all aboard time, so you don't miss the ship. So that means basically you have from 8 till 1. Who wants to get up at 8 in the morning and wait in line to get off the ship. So for us, that means we have
from 10 until 1.
We have about 10 or 11 until 1 o'clock to
Yeah.
explore the port. So I think that is a bummer when I'm looking at my port stops and the times are ridiculously short like that. So that's a complaint. Once again, these are all, kind of legit things to complain about. You're on a cruise, so, it's all good.
Yeah.
But, yeah.
I've noticed that a lot of the port departure times is before it gets dark, like before sunset. And I'm wondering, because there have been some that leave later. I mean, we have one, actually, I think we stop in Hawaii, and I think that one is like 9 o'clock maybe. It's pretty late at night.
Yeah, it's a long one.
And then we did Puerto Rico, and that one was really late as
Yeah.
well. I think that was 10 o'clock at night. So it's not like they can't leave in the dark, and obviously, it's probably more tricky to navigate out of the port when it's dark. But anyways, that's just an interesting thing. And it means that you can never experience or rarely experience dinner in a port. It's like you can get lunch maybe, but if you want to have like the whole dinner and nightlife experience in a particular city, you're not going to get it unless you stay overnight.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, that could be a whole nother topic of a live stream if we wanted to, is like cruise vacations versus land vacations.
Yeah.
There's pros and cons, but this is, of course, all about cruising, and that's what we love.
So just to revisit the bathroom a little bit, because we have people that are chiming in on that. Steve at Sweet Life said, my apartment bathroom is 4'9" by 6'9", so 32 square feet. When I'm in a suite, I'm probably the only person in the ship with a cabin bigger than my apartment. Okay.
Awesome.
I mean,
man.
so it's an upgrade.
You need to get a new apartment, my man.
Yeah, Grade 8 agrees with that. And then Gun Enjoyer says, my wife loves a dark interior room, but after our first balcony, she won't go back. So we have a mini suite on Enchanted Princess
nice.
in March. Yeah, and doing the 360 dining experience. Oh, that's going to be really cool.
Nice.
That's yeah, that'll be really nice. And the mini suites on Princess, I feel like, are a good balance between like the exorbitant cost of a full suite and getting a little bit more space. And
how much more space? We've never been in a mini suite. How much more space do you actually get?
I wouldn't be able to tell you square footage, although Steve might be able to, because I know he has those numbers in his head, or maybe close to his fingertips on his computer. But I think that the difference is that a mini suite gets a like a sleeper sofa. So remember on Princess, we just had like a vanity chair in our room. We didn't have a lounge chair or a couch in our room, so it's giving you that much more space. So it's kind of like on Disney. That was the one cool thing about Disney, is the balcony rooms, all of them had a bedroom, and then they actually had like a curtain divider, and then they had the living space, which with a couch.
That was a fold-out couch?
It was, well, I mean, it was such a hard couch. Remember we sat on that, and it was like there was no give to that. But it was technically like a sleeper sofa that you could fold out to make into another bed.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then, that was... So I think that is more the size of what a Princess mini suite is. Maybe the Princess mini suite is a bit bigger. Yeah.
Interesting.
Let's see. Oh, yep, Steve has the answer. 323 square feet on the Grand Class ships.
Okay. I'm trying to visualize 323
Well,
square.
you just said that the interior cabins can be as small as 150. So
okay,
that's
so
double the size of like a small interior.
Okay, hey, that sounds better.
Which is...
we should get a mini suite.
Okay.
So going back to our subject here, so like limited time in ports, just sometimes 4 to 6 hours, that's a bummer. I think everybody would agree on that and find some complaint about that. And also the cost of cruise ship excursions. So you can get, and you guys all know this, if you want to go on an excursion, you want to go to that volcano in Hawaii, or you want to go to the waterfalls in Jamaica, or you want to go to the zip line in wherever you are. It's going to cost half the price, if not less, if you book it through a third party when you get off the cruise ship and go find somebody. If you book it on the cruise ship, it's going to cost double the price of the third party. But if if you come back late after the cruise ship leaves, you're still going to get back on the cruise ship, and the cruise line is going to cover all your expenses. Everything's going to be taken care of.
If you book through the cruise line.
If you book through the cruise line
Yeah.
and you pay, so it's kind of like paying insurance in a way, because I don't really see another advantage. I mean, I guess the other advantage is like they coordinate when everybody gets together in the morning, and they have a van waiting for you, so the logistics are a little bit easier.
For those tight port calls where you don't have much time, if you've booked a excursion through the cruise line, you have priority to get off the ship because they always let the cruise lines shore excursions leave first, and then they let the other people leave. So,
Right.
if you wanted to like maximize your time.
What do you guys do? Do you guys pay the extra money and go through the cruise line, or do you look for good deals when you get off the ship at port to do excursions? We're cheap, kind of.
We are
We're kind of cheap. We look for the good deals.
I will say that if you are booking a third party, if you're pre-booking, there's like Shore Excursion Group, which is like a subsidiary of Vacations to Go, which we've mentioned we use frequently. And we're not getting paid to say this, but they have a guarantee that they'll get you back on time or they'll pay your expenses. So, if you pre-book, there are companies that give you that same get you back on time guarantee. So, yeah.
I guess I don't know. I don't know what the answer is. I guess it just depends on what your cruise style is, whether you want to pay that extra money or not. But I think we're going to keep looking for good deals, at least until that bank account gets a little bit bigger.
Yeah. So Beverly said, I manage an unbelievable deal for me and my family on Celebrity this December.
Nice.
Drinks and Wi-Fi for free.
Very
that's a
nice.
good deal. I didn't see that one come by. That's great. And then she says,
Did she say how she pulled that off?
it sounds like it was a special sale that they were running.
Cool.
Yeah,
Nice.
and which I didn't see that they were doing that, but I know they do sometimes. And then Beverly says, we are simple people, find a beach excursion that gives us at least 3 to 4 hours to relax, eat and drink, and we are happy. Yeah.
That's the same with us for the
Yep.
most part. Not always, but for the most part, yeah.
Yeah, that's especially when you're going somewhere tropical.
Yeah.
There's not very many tropical beaches in Minnesota, so
No,
we take them where we can get them.
Absolutely. Yep.
And then Steve says, unless I'm exploring on my own, I'll take princess excursions for the insurance. Yeah. And then Great Aunt says, yeah, I heard some, in addition, will refund your money. Oh, if the port gets canceled. Oh, yeah.
They'll refund your
Yep.
money. Yeah, absolutely.
That's true. They give you
that's
that.
a great point. A third party may not give you that
you want to
refund.
make sure.
Yeah.
Obviously, if you're waiting until you get off the ship to go find someone, then you haven't paid the money. So if the port gets canceled, no harm, no foul.
Yeah.
But like Shore Excursion Group also gives that guarantee that if the port gets canceled, I'm pretty sure it's a money back thing. So you want to look for that if you are booking third party. Make sure you know what your options are. So. Steve at Sweet Life says, I'm looking into the Icy Strait Point zip line for 2027. It's only bookable through the cruise lines.
Which zip line?
The Icy Strait Point zip line, which that's funny he mentions it because I just got a video shown to me of that.
Where's that?
It's up in Alaska.
Nice.
Yeah. So that would be cool. I know it's not a zip line, but they have the gondola ride in Juneau, that's something you can totally just go book. We saw the ticket booth when we were there. But yeah, we didn't look into Icy Strait because we didn't go there.
I'm jealous. I want to go on the
Yeah,
Icy
that sounds
Strait
really
zip line.
fun.
They titled it well. That makes me want to do it. Yeah. Any more?
Let's see. Beverly, I feel safer going through the cruise ship as well. I had an experience on an excursion that made us very late back, and thankfully it was booked through the ship. Beverly, did you actually make it back onto the ship? Did they hold it because it was through the cruise ship? Yeah, we did have a close call as well on an excursion that was not booked through the cruise ship, and we had to yell at our driver turn around, go back to the ship. We don't have enough time to keep going. We need to.
That was so stressful.
Get back. That was really stressful.
Yeah.
But we made it.
We did.
We
make
were
it.
the second to last group to arrive back.
Yeah.
There was actually was a bus that was from the cruise line that was behind us. So.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We to expand on that story just a little. So I don't need
I
to
think
tell
we did tell the story before. But
I don't need to tell the whole thing, but there was kind of a funny thing that happened because we were with another couple on this awesome excursion to fly around the Nazca lines in Peru. It was once in a lifetime thing. It was amazing. we got off. We were supposed to go to this oasis.
Yeah.
We're driving out to this oasis, and everybody realized there's no way we're getting back to the ship in time. So
Yeah.
inside the van, chaos ensued, and
Language barrier, trying to communicate.
Yeah. In the end, we turn around and we're flying back towards the port, and we get back to the port, and there was also supposed to be a meal that was part of this day.
Yeah.
And the Emily and I would have been fine with just getting back to the ship, but this other couple, the woman and this other couple, really wanted that meal.
And it was like a specialty, like a regional specialty. She really wanted.
She did.
Yeah, it wasn't an included meal.
It wasn't
was
included,
just
but it was supposed to be.
Yeah.
She was like, I haven't had lunch, and we've been out here for 8 hours or whatever.
Yeah.
So she was
Yeah.
starving, and there was supposed to be a lunch break. And because of the logistics and things taking longer than they should have, we were running really late. And so they flew back, and we got to the point where we knew we were going to get back to the ship, probably.
Yeah.
And
was most
this
likely.
lady wouldn't stop talking about food, so the driver pulls into the town kind of right next to the cruise port.
Yeah.
And we have this really stressful, rushed,
But also really good.
delicious
I want to
lunch.
mention it was
Delicious
really good.
lunch. I look back at the photographs of that lunch.
It was
and
so good.
It was
And
so
like really
artistically
artistic.
plated.
Yeah.
It was this really, really beautiful
Yeah.
spread of seafood and Peruvian delights.
Yeah,
And
it was good.
It was super good. But sitting at the table with that other couple, that lady was so tense. And because of that, we were tense, and it was just like, and we're like, we gotta eat, we gotta get back to the. And it
Yeah.
was like this but it was really tasty. It was just one of those
I was
really
trying to enjoy
surreal
it.
experiences. We tried. You're in this situation where exactly what you just said. You have to try to enjoy it. But it was memorable because of how stressful it was, I guess.
I guess.
So yeah, it was good.
Yeah.
Anyway, that's my story.
Yeah. Those pictures were great too. Like it even looks good when you look back at the pictures.
Yeah.
Because sometimes the food just doesn't photograph as well as it tasted. Okay, let's see. Beverly, update. Yes, they waited for us. The excursion people were waiting for us at the dock, and the catamaran we were on lost an engine. Oh no.
Oh my gosh.
That sounds stressful. Bad. Steve says we can book an inside and then we'll all hang out on his balcony. I mean, that sounds like, but we still wouldn't have like the full 323 square feet of the mini suite. So
Yeah.
I don't know, but we'll think about that one.
Yeah.
Beverly continues. Of course, people were yelling on the balcony, "Port runners," as we came back, but we weren't. Oh yeah, that's, I guess, something you have to deal with.
They gave you the business from the balcony.
Yeah, they gave you the cat calls.
That's
oh man,
funny.
we had I think twice that we've had that where we've watched people run back and everybody gets out and hangs out on their balcony and yells stuff.
You losers!
The first time it happened, it was like we'd been on several cruises by that point, and I was so excited. I was like, "Joe, it's finally happening!"
Yeah, we
have port runners.
The pier runners are funny.
Pier runners, yeah.
It's what a funny thing about cruise culture that like everybody knows to go out on your balcony and heckle people as they're late to come. It's just like an interesting phenomenon. Anyway, yeah. Are we moving on?
Yeah, Steve corrected me. He has a full suite. Okay, so that changes things. It wasn't just a mini suite. It's a full suite. So yeah, lots more space.
All right, let's talk about passenger behavior. This is a little bit of a touchy subject, and you have to say things carefully. But like brawls, like the cruise ship brawl phenomenon. Speaking of cruise ship phenomenons, is something that everybody seems to know about these days. It doesn't just happen on Carnival cruises. It's on Royal Caribbean. You mostly see it on Royal Caribbean and Carnival, but I'm sure MSC has had their share of brawls.
Probably, but I don't.
I can't think of one cruise news story that wasn't.
Maybe they locked down the footage a little bit better.
And and so it happens and it's happening in like ports.
Yeah.
Like at disembarkation or embarkation. And so people complain about that. People complain about the fact, and people joke about it, but I like to joke about it because it's, you gotta make light of this craziness in this world.
I mean,
but
I guess it's just like you don't go to the grocery store and think that, that there's going to be a brawl there. You don't go to Target and think, oh my gosh, I hope there's not a brawl when I go to Target.
Yeah.
But when you go on a cruise, I think a lot of people are like, oh, is there going to be a brawl? Do I need to watch out?
So everybody said, not everybody, but most people's reaction to cruise ship brawls are they got to do something about that, or we got to stop this, or people have to stop. Come on, people, can stop brawling on cruise ships or whatever. And it's like, I think about it, and it's just like, the people that are brawling on cruise ships could care less what you're saying.
Yeah, that's true.
They could absolutely care less. If the cruise line says, "Hey, don't brawl when you're on the ship," they don't care.
Yeah.
They're gonna brawl anyway. And since cavemen, people have been fighting, and so I don't think it's probably ever gonna stop. And I don't like it. I'm not saying it's okay, but I'm just like saying the words "don't do that" or "you have to stop" or whatever, I think is like dumb.
Yeah, for the most part, the people that care that you say don't do that are already not doing that. So
exactly.
Yeah.
And the folks that are doing the brawling, it's maybe just like part of how they live their life. And I'm not saying I like that or anything like that. And I don't even know what my point is with this, other than just saying to people, well, stop it. We need to stop cruise brawls. It's like, that's been said enough.
Yeah.
We need to.
Not helpful.
We need to find a solution maybe, or an incentive, or I don't know, something that's just not just saying the word "stop brawling." I'll get off my soapbox now.
Here's an idea. Yeah. If you are on a cruise that there is no brawl whatsoever, everybody on that cruise gets an automatic $50 of future cruise credit. How about that?
Incentivize, not brawling. Don't fight. And the other odd thing about the brawls that I'll say, because I don't talk about this much except for when I joke about it when it's a cruise news story, when you look at all the brawl footage that you get on social media, which I certainly look at and I use in my videos, all around the brawl are not people trying to break up the brawl. They're all out there with their phones, recording the brawl. So you've got people that are like getting some fame. I wouldn't want fame from fighting, like, whatever, but people are like getting some amount of fame because of all the people that don't do anything when there's people brawling, but they just stand around and videotape it so that they can get some fame on social media.
Yeah.
I think that's just as much of part of the problem as the brawl itself.
That's true.
And I don't think it's going to go away. I don't know what the solution is. Thank goodness that is not my job. My job is just to talk about cruise-related things. But I think the people need to think a little bit deeper than just, hey, people, stop brawling. Anyway, I'll shut up now. Yeah.
Well, I think the consensus is you are correct.
What are people saying?
It's the short booze cruises. 75% of them have a criminal record already. So, and Steve, I think at the same time when I said we should get shipboard credit, he wrote a comment that says shipboard credit. So,
There you go. I can't
use chicken fingers again.
I'm starting to pay too much. What?
It's absurd to pay that much money only to get mad. It's supposed to be a vacation or a getaway. Yeah. I mean, that's true. Like, the person that's brawling, those people that get in the fight, they paid good money to get, I'm assuming they paid good money to get on the cruise, just like everybody else. And they're spending that cruise fighting. And also, if you get into a fight on a cruise, you're going to get arrested or have, something's going to happen.
Banned for life?
Yeah.
Whatever.
You're not going to, it's not going to go unnoticed. So, it's like you've already paid a price just to get on the ship, and now you're going to pay another price because you wanted to have a fight. It's just to prove what? To prove what? That you got the last chicken finger, I guess.
Anyway, cruise ship brawls.
Nate says, appreciate the info you gave on your video about gratuities. I'll be going on NCL September 19th and definitely paying my gratuities in cash. New sub. Yeah, thanks, Nate. Nice to have you on board.
That might be a problem. NCL?
No, so I found out, in case you haven't seen it, on our website, which is embrace-today.com, I have an article there about cruising, and I go through every cruise line and what their policies are, as much as I can tell, as far as how to take the gratuities off, going by cruise line. Since I don't get into specifically the cruise line in that video, or get in gratuity removing by cruise line in that video. So I found out on NCL, I initially thought that you couldn't take it off, but you just have to fill out a form, and it sounds like that they charge you for it, but then they give you a refund. So like there's that anxiety of if they're actually going to give you the refund, but everybody has reported that they have successfully had it removed.
Really? So because NCL calls it a service fee, not a gratuity, right?
Yep, that's true. But But the report is that you can still get it taken off. They just make you fill out a form and
You have to
jump
wait
through more
for it.
paperwork and
Okay.
be more annoying about it. But it's still possible. So
Good.
And had several people confirm that. So
Good.
yeah, I'm pretty confident about that.
Are we ready for a new subject?
Yep. Oh yeah, Nate said he did find the website. So good.
Cool.
Yes, I think we were ready for a new subject.
All right, so service inconsistencies. While many praised cruise staff, others report spotty service from slow dining to unresponsive housekeeping. Gratuity policies sparked debate, with some feeling pressure to tip despite prepaid gratuities. So, what are some examples of us having bad service on a cruise ship?
Well, one time you almost got swept up into a dustpan. Do you want to tell that story?
That was
don't
maybe
know if that was-
can you guys explain this to me? So this happened 2 or 3 times on that cruise. Right?
Well, but that's true. It did happen more than once, but this was one particular example. Do you want to tell the story, or do you want me to?
Here's 2 examples of the same thing. So I'm doing some filming on the cruise ship, and no, I don't have my camera in people's faces. I'm just standing like in a corridor.
There wasn't even anybody there. It was it wasn't crowded.
No, I had a tripod down, and I was just filming like people walking by for our videos.
Yeah.
And this cleaner lady, employee on the crew, that's the word I was looking for, was just walking by, and she was just walking around doing like spot sweeping. She just had a little broom and a dustpan thing, and she was sweeping. And she wasn't sweeping the whole corridor. She was just spot sweeping, looking for little, and she came over and she literally walked up to me. Looked at the tripod, walked up to me like kind of standing behind it, and she starts sweeping my feet. She's literally sweeping my shoes.
It was bizarre.
And I just stood there and I just looked at her and I was like, and I just kind of shook my head. I mean, is that something that like, because a lot of these folks are from like Southeast Asia, Indonesia, like Thailand, Vietnam,
Yeah.
they're the
I didn't
Philippines.
get the feeling she was trying to clean your shoes, though.
It felt
was
like she was
irritated
trying
that
to tell me to move along,
Yeah.
or she was just. It felt like it was a passive aggressive way to be like, get out of here.
It felt very passive aggressive.
And I didn't budge. I just kind of looked at her, and I didn't really know what to do about it. And so I thought maybe she was just having a bad day, and she was just like, I'm tired of these Americans or whatever. But but on the same cruise, it was on a Carnival ship, and on the same cruise, a day later, something like that, we're at Cherry on Top having some ice cream.
Yeah.
And we're sitting outside of Cherry on Top. It was cool. They had
By the way, they had ice cream at Cherry on Top, which was awesome.
Yeah, they had ice cream at Cherry on Top.
We were super excited.
A lot of times just a candy store, but they had ice cream there.
Yeah.
And some of it was good, some of it wasn't so good. But anyway, we're sitting out there enjoying our ice cream. We're literally by ourselves. There's like an outdoor section of this Cherry on Top. And it was a different worker, but a different worker walks up to me, and I'm sitting this time on a bench, but my feet are kind of in the corridor. And she walks up. I don't remember if it was a he or a
I think
she.
it was a guy at that
maybe
point,
a
but I
guy
don't
that
remember for
time.
sure.
And he walks up and starts sweeping like right next to my feet, hitting my shoes again.
Well, he was trying to sweep under the table, but it's like, we're eating here. You could come sweep once we're done eating.
And so was he like trying to say, hey, I just want to give you guys the best service, so I'm going to sweep under your table even though it doesn't need to be swept. And it doesn't matter, I'm hitting your feet a little bit. And so I'm like eating ice cream, and there's this guy like sweeping,
Yeah.
and they don't do it to Emily. They just did it to me. And so I
That's
don't
not
know.
true. He did it to me too.
Did he?
Yeah.
All right.
In
I
that
guess I didn't
case, he did
remember
it to
that.
me.
Yeah.
The lady in the hallway, it was all you.
It was just more bizarre than anything, but it just felt like a passive-aggressive attack. And I think that I like to think it's not, because it's like, maybe it's just like, because I remember we've been to Southeast Asia, and in Southeast Asia, like, you take off your shoes like everywhere you go, and you have to. There's like a whole respect thing with like shoes and feet and dirt and this kind of thing that isn't quite the same in the United States. At least not quite as serious. So I don't know. Do you guys know? Was that were they
cherry
just,
on top situation? I remember it that. So I got this, which don't get this by the way. It was a ice cream sandwich that they made out of cookies there, and they were just not appropriate cookies to make an ice cream sandwich out of. It was
they were
crumbling.
about an inch and a half thick.
Yeah, it was crumbling all over the place, and so I dropped.
And they were the driest cookies.
Yeah.
They looked amazing, but they were the
They were
driest.
not.
Yeah,
It wasn't good.
Anyway.
Joe just got a regular ice cream cone, which was great, but my cookie was like falling apart in my hands. I was having a really hard time, and I know that at least one piece of cookie hit the ground, and so it's like he was trying to come sweep that up, but it's like, is not going to kill anybody to have that cookie crumb stand there until we leave, and then you could come and sweep it up, because it's really intrusive, in my opinion, for you to come do it while there's nobody else around. And yeah, so that's what that situation was. But the one in the hallway was just bizarre.
That was weird.
I could not figure that out.
I will say, but now so I went into this video today thinking, I don't really complain much. I'm going to be talking about how other people complain. But all we've done this whole thing is complain and talk about all the things we complain about. So I guess, people do complain about cruising. I love cruising. And but I guess there are things to complain about. Do you guys complain when you're on cruise ships?
Beverly said, I've never had awful service on a cruise, had some questionable service in one main dining room on a Royal Caribbean cruise, but not bad enough to remove gratuities. Sweet Light says common sense is far too common. So yeah, who knows what common sense was in that story. But yeah, Beverly said maybe his boss told him he missed a spot and that's why he was so thorough for the cherry on top. I mean, that's kind of what I felt, is like he was told, oh, you have to keep this place spotless. And I mean, I feel like in both cases it was honestly had to do with the management of what they were being told by whoever. And I mean, but if they're being managed to be so much in fear of that they're like sweeping customers' feet, like that's very bad management. So
that's that actually brings up something that's not on my list that I would like to say is, like, I think I've heard people, and this isn't so much us, but I've heard people complain about the cleanliness of cruise ships.
Yeah.
And I have to say, like,
in general,
cruise ships are remarkably clean, and like the efforts that the staff put in to cleaning is really, really impressive. We talked about, I know I talked about on the Legend, we were on the Carnival Legend on our last cruise in Alaska. We talked about how the hot tub was being tested constantly for bacteria, for temperature, for everything. And I actually got a comment on that video. I don't know if you saw that.
Yeah,
Some guy said, I never go in hot tubs because I'm always afraid of, like, bacteria and stuff. He's like, after watching your video, I'm going in that hot tub. And it's true. Like, it's impressive how, the CDC comes out and checks. They have these regulations, and I understand that sicknesses happen on cruise ships and people worry about germs and stuff like that. And that's really probably the impetus for this, like, extreme cleaning. But it's really impressive how clean cruise ships are. And that is something I personally don't worry about. Do you guys worry a lot about germs and sickness and stuff like that on cruise ships? Because I don't. I'm a little bit less worried about that. We both have gotten sick on cruises.
Oh, we've both gotten sick on more than one cruise, but I don't think it was...
I think it was probably something we got before.
I think it was something we got before we got on the ship. I don't feel like I've ever gotten sick because of the cruise.
I've never gotten like a stomach, like Giardia or E. coli or anything like or norovirus or anything like that on a cruise ship.
Yeah.
I've never had that problem. I know that a lot of people have had that. I've never gotten COVID on a cruise ship. I've never. I don't know. I just feel like they do a great job of keeping the ships clean. So,
and they know the trigger spots, that are constantly getting dirty, and they have people that are like assigned to make sure this area is clean. And then in the evening, at the nighttime, they have the night shift come out, and then they just clean every section of the ship. So every day, that whole ship is getting clean top to bottom. So it's
I just saw a comment come in saying something about not the staff but the other passengers. Who was that?
I worry about the other passengers, not
that?
the ship itself. Steve at Sweet Life.
Yeah, Steve, I agree with you. And actually, when I saw that pop up on the screen, that made me remember a couple occasions, but one in particular, Emily and I we love riding the panoramic glass elevators up and down the corridors, especially on the Carnival ships, I guess.
Yeah.
And there's grand murals on the wall, and you go down the elevator, and then you come into the atrium area, and it's beautiful. And we all like to get film of that, of course, for our videos. And so we're filming one day, and it's always nice when we can get the elevator to ourselves, because then we can film it the way we want. But anyway, I'm filming, we just got in the elevator, and a guy comes in last second and was just projectile coughing on us. And obviously the guy had the worst cold he's ever had in his life.
I think Joe tried to hold his breath for
that
elevator
I did hold my breath. I held my breath for that whole ride. And I got some good footage, but my camera probably got sick from that guy. So anyway, I hear you on that. Like, Hey, people, if you're wildly sick on a cruise ship, maybe take the stairs so you're not in an enclosed elevator with other people.
Yeah.
Maybe like just wait so you're on an elevator with just you and your family or whatever. Don't get us all sick by coughing in the elevator.
Or don't projectile cough like you said. I mean, cover your
do
mouth.
Do one of these, something, man.
Yeah.
It was a little bit irritating. So you're right. I do complain and worry a little bit about sickness from the other passengers, but not the cleanliness of the ship.
No, not the cleanliness. No. Grade 8 says, the best advice I ever heard was don't sit next to the guy at the pool bar who hasn't left his seat in a few hours. Yeah, that's probably good advice.
That is sage advice for many reasons. Yeah.
Beverly said, my husband got sick from watching poker in the casino, all the hacking that happens there. Then my son got sick, then I got sick when we got home. What a way to end the cruise. Yeah. I mean, and that's...
From watching poker?
Yeah, I mean, if you're just watching like a poker tournament or something, and everybody's like gathered around, and I could see that.
Oh, I see. So like spectating like a big poker tournament.
Yeah,
and you're like in a crowd. I get it.
Yeah,
Okay.
Yeah. But I mean, I feel like when we got like the one time we were sick on a cruise, I think I was actually sick before, or maybe not sick, but like starting to come down with something before, and it was on the Grandeur of the Seas, which is one of the reasons why you
were sick on that cruise?
I started getting sick on that cruise, and then I was trying to.
My sister. That's right. Yeah.
Well, I was trying to not let Joe know, because then if he didn't know that I was sick, then he couldn't get sick from me. Was my logic, but unfortunately,
that didn't work out.
It didn't work out. So I think that's another reason why you don't like the Grandeur.
We both got sick, didn't we? I forgot about that.
Yeah. So I think that 5 days of that cruise was me sick, 5 days was you sick, and then the last part was I was just sick of being on the cruise ship.
Yeah.
Okay, so Steve says take the stairs anyways, instead of coughing over everybody.
Yeah. And
you know what? If you are getting the exercise, that's supposed to boost your immune system. So unacceptable behaviors, Gun Enjoyer says unacceptable behaviors deserve a lifetime ban. But then you have to figure out who's going to determine what unacceptable behavior is, I guess. So
yeah, and that is.
I mean, if I were in terms of that,
yeah.
but yeah. And then Steve also says, I play poker on the ship whenever the table is open and never got sick from it. Electronic tables with no chips and no cards helps. I mean, that's a good point. But in the spectator situation, you've got a lot of people crowded in there watching. So yeah. Was that the last?
I think
subject?
that's the last subject. Hey guys, Emily is starring in a video that you guys are not going to want to miss. Probably coming out next week.
Oh, well, I mean that depends on the whole getting ready to pack and everything. But my goal is that,
Yeah, we have a lot to do, but
I've got it. I'm working on it.
The script has been written. It has been filmed, but now we're just working through all of the. That one's been filmed, right?
It's been filmed. Yeah, just I haven't got a chance to do anything.
You're not going to want to miss it.
Yeah.
It's going to be a banger, and I have one that it's just the idea is formed, and it's going to be coming out soon. And I know that I'm not giving it much justice because other cruise content creators watch our videos, we've come to find out, and we don't want to give away our good ideas.
Oh, yeah, so, that's true.
You'll just have to watch out. You'll just have to watch out. Our videos are going to be coming strong. We're going to be on this cruise. We're going to be spending a lot of our cruise time making videos. We're going to be doing lives. We're going to be doing a lot of shorts. There's going to be a lot of content coming out. The last couple of weeks, it has been a little bit dry content-wise for us because we've had a move going on, planning a trip, doing lots of stuff. Emily's got a garden that she has to. What do you have to do?
Oh, I have one final harvest of squash, which is which Joe doesn't want to talk about, but
I don't. This is the end of the video. We can talk about whatever we want. But you have to pull up all your plants, right?
Well, I've gotten half of them out, but I'm also making. Doing my. Let's see, I did 25 pounds of tomatoes last weekend. I'm doing another 25 pounds of tomatoes today.
We are going to have tomato soup all winter long. Pretty much, yeah. It's going to be great.
Well, because that was the one thing I knew, was pretty confident would be ready to process by this time, so I had to plan my garden accordingly.
Yeah.
Hoping the squash lasts until we get back.
Do you guys like jalapenos in your tomato soup? We do. You didn't put jalapenos in the last batch, did you?
I didn't. I don't think I had any, but...
I think we're out of jalapenos. Well, we have some frozen jalapenos.
Yeah.
So anyway, I like spicy tomato soup. I don't know about you guys. Anyway, that's
You
not
can
what
always
you guys
add
want to
stuff
talk
in.
about.
But
Wow, it's Farmer Emily. She is.
Yes.
She is.
you should
she
check
is
out my video about
green thumb.
how to know if you're a Minnesotan on a cruise, because yeah, lots of farmer jokes.
Absolutely. All right, guys. That is going to be a wrap. Next time we see each other, we are going to be. I'm sorry, I got distracted by something on the screen. Next time we see each other, we are going to be on the Carnival Luminosa.
That's right.
And like
On
I say,
our way to Hawaii.
On our way to Hawaii. We've never been there before. They eat a lot of spam there. You know.
Great.
Anyway, yeah, we'll see you guys again soon. Take it easy.
Bye.